healer. And actually I worked in a remote on an island in Alaska, in Southeast Alaska, for 4 years, right out of residency. So we finished residency and I started working there. There were only 4 of us, family physicians. And if somebody had something that we couldn't handle, they had to fly out, often in bad weather. And often they didn't want to. You know, they were older patients, and they would just say, do what you can, doc. I trust you. I'm not going to the Anchorage or Seattle or whatever, the biggest city. Or there were people who were quite critical, and they did need to be transported, but we would have to wait 4, 5, 6 hours sometimes for someone to get there. So looking back, I realized that what I was observing in those situations was the resiliency of the human body and mind. And with a little bit of support, maybe it was IV fluids or certain medicines without, doing too much, really, because then we start harming people. There was some inner healing, inner mechanisms that were at play that people would hold on for long periods of time.
And the presence of the med team, maybe also.
Yes, exactly. And there was one situation in particular where I had to fly with somebody who was critical to the next place where there was surgery available, and really just holding her hand and telling her everything was going to be okay. At some level, I think that helped her more than anything else I was doing. And so the perspective I had when I got out of residency, that everything has to happen now or people will die if we don't do something, shifted a little bit more toward, first of all, do no harm, support people, and there is this inner healer that's there that works very well. It just needs some support. Now, that being said, there are critical situations where time is of the essence, no doubt. But I think I feel like I have a good perspective of what those things are and what things we are creating disease, say in chronic illness especially, and poor nutrition and not paying attention to all of the truly preventative things, like talking to people about eating and making good food choices in a world where there's so many bad food choices, moving their bodies even gently. It doesn't have to be running 5 miles a day. You can do a little bit of yoga every day or walk for 15 minutes, after you eat. And now there's lots of science that's showing how transformational that is, which is encouraging, because I think medicine will have to start to shift.